Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Lelouch, board-certified OBGYN physician with over 30 years of experience. Today we're talking about baby movements. When am I supposed to feel my baby move? Is something wrong if I don't feel the baby move? What do I do about it? Some general guidelines. Again, I don't know your specific circumstance, so if these general hints don't help you enough, give you enough information, you certainly need to seek help with your provider. That being said, there are many circumstances where we wouldn't expect you to feel the baby move, or reasons why you don't feel the baby move, and things that you can do to remedy that situation. So let's start out. First of all, when can you start feeling the baby move if this is your first baby? Well, to reliably feel it, most studies say you can't really reliably feel it after 20 weeks or after 22 weeks. It's not considered normal after 22 weeks if you can't feel the baby move. That's not a hard and exact number, but you can't feel it at 8 weeks, you can't feel it at 12 weeks. Now, if it's your second baby, some studies suggest that around 18 you can feel it. But before that, the difference is that you're feeling is first that your uterus is growing, your intestines become more active, and using ultrasounds, they've shown that women really can't tell the difference between intestinal movement and baby moving that early on, okay? But so first baby, not reliably till 22 weeks, subsequent babies, again, 22 weeks, but some women can reliably feel it as early as 18 weeks, okay? Now, if you're trying to evaluate if your baby's doing okay, once it's been moving well, then one of the things you need to do is make sure you have enough to drink and enough to eat, okay? Babies have sleep cycles, and if they're low blood sugar or they haven't gotten enough and your blood pressure is low because you haven't done enough to drink, that can affect the baby's movement, so make sure you've done those, and then you do something called kick counts. Kick counts is a way to assess once you've felt the baby move, so after 22 weeks, really after 24, it's more reliable, the well-being of the baby. So what do? Well, get something to eat, get something to drink. If you haven't, lie on your left side. That just helps with baby blood flow. And turn off the TV, turn off your phone, put your hands on your belly and count for kicks and movements. If you feel bang, 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 that's 3 kicks. All you need is 4 kicks in an hour. Usually takes 10 to 15 minutes. If you haven't gotten 4 kicks in an hour, then you need to wait another hour, and you need 10 kicks in 2 hours or 4 kicks in an hour. There are other guidelines, you can look them up. There are other rules of thumbs, but that's a general, widely accepted rule of thumb called kick counts. If you don't meet that criteria, you need to either get to the hospital or contact your health care provider, depending on the circumstance. Ask them for their preferred kick count guidelines. You certainly might be at higher risk for concerning circumstances, like for example, if you're on home rest activity with high blood pressure pregnancy, later in the pregnancy. I've got a whole video on that. It tells you a little bit of how integrating kick counts into your care. Now, it's also very common for your second baby or third baby for you not to notice the baby moving as well. Well, why is that? Well, the reason is because you're busy taking care of your other child. So our bodies are designed to watch for changes, to pay attention, to be on alert to things that can be of concern. At the same time, our bodies are used to subtracting out things that are always there. For example, put your hand on your chest. What do you feel? Well, you feel your heart beating. It's there, it's pretty dramatic, and yet you're not feeling it most of the time. You don't know your heart's beating most of the time. Well, obviously you know because you're alive, but the point is, since it's constant, your brain subtracts that out because it becomes a distraction. Well, when you've got kids to take care of, and you're busy, and you're doing a job, or cooking at home, or doing all those other things, your brain starts to subtract out the movements of the baby. And then you'll go for a little while and you'll say, oh, I haven't felt the baby move. So that's normal. It's pretty common when you have 1 or 2 other kids to get that distraction. So what do? You do a kick count. You take a break, you get something to eat and drink, lay down, put your hands on your belly, turn off all distractions, and assess how your baby's doing, okay? That being said, it's pretty natural near the end of pregnancy, around 36 weeks, for the baby to start slowing down a little bit. It's getting more crowded in there. the fluid is getting less, so instead of babies moving big, they got smaller movements. So you will notice a decrease in the amount of the baby moves. However, you'll still be able to assess the kick counts, and the baby will still pass that as well. And if it doesn't, that's certainly a time to get alert. Now, this is general guidelines, and your situation could be unique. You might be in a higher risk circumstance, and so you certainly need to bring up any questions you have with your provider, see what they want to apply to you, and also if you have some unusual circumstances, they might give you more stringent guidelines or different guidelines. But I hope you found this helpful and reassuring to you, and please leave your comments. Thank you.